I've worked with two directors. I won't name them. One who wanted exactly what they wanted. Matlab, even acting, how to say this word also was taught.
Oh.
One is it's very demotivating
Yeah.
when you don't get offered because it's like, oh, was I not good enough? But ek to we were lucky because I was a part of television when the television was very good. Probably if I was smarter, I would have done some stuff for the money. But see, not a lot. I have to be honest because over there, and I'm glad in a certain way because I don't want to focus on that part.
Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
You know, it's a great week I've had in terms of work, yes, but I feel it all the more so because it's rare that you happen to encounter an actor, you talk with them, have brief ones, and then you get a chance to sit with them again, and it just gets better and better and better because when the person is Shefali Shah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
No, absolutely. I mean, everything. I want to dive into DC right away. I say DC very casually.
Yeah,
but
yeah, because we all call
yeah,
it DC.
because I mean,
like
we are
DC.
just we are lazy, so we'll go with Delhi Crime 3 as of now. But what I want to dive is right away is because the one thing that I specifically love about Vartika throughout the season, I think a lot more in this season, throughout all seasons I meant, and through a more say, is that whenever anybody, any one of her juniors, so to speak, or, her team is generally just giving a call, giving an update that they've cracked something big, caught someone, she doesn't cease to say, very good job.
Yeah.
These are those little things that, it's anyways the most thankless job in the world.
True.
There are no perks, there's no money, but she understands that. And I want to know that how much I'm sure it's a lot of that is on paper, but to able to put that on the right time, how does that construction work?
So also you know the person by now. I mean,
Yeah.
I know who she is. And like you correctly said, it's a thankless job. She loves her team. She genuinely believes she's as good as her team is. And she thinks there is great strength in the team she has. Another very interesting aspect of her had come out exactly in season 1, which was she knows every individual's strength and
Yeah.
she allots the work accordingly.
That's true.
So when somebody does something, one, though it is a big deal for the case.
Correct.
And two is, obviously I'm going to tell you that great job. Also, if you've noticed, she says take care.
Yeah.
And make
Yes.
sure you're very
You're
careful.
very well careful.
So this is her personal, these are not her work people. This
It's not
is her
just random
family.
colleagues, yeah.
These are people who are very dear to her. So she's going to, it's not about, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. It's
Yeah.
genuinely she feels this way about her team.
Absolutely. And you know what, you've already spoken about in a brief manner about, being an executive producer now. And I feel that's about time, I would say. Because no, genuinely, when you know that you've championed a show, I mean, all of us have championed this show and this show has taken the leaps it kind of has. I want to know that what is, the technicalities that it comes to play, because I know it's having a little more ownership, a little bit more control, but how much does that actually transpire?
See, not a lot. I have to be honest because over there, and I'm glad in a certain way because I don't want to focus on that part. I want to be there completely as an actor.
Yeah.
But when there is a script, like I remember the first time Tanuj met me when they were discussing about this case, Netflix, the producers, etc. And he came and he met me. She said, Chef, I want to talk to you. These are the two cases we are thinking of. Which one would you be inclined to?
Lovely.
And I said, this is the one I would want to do. Definitely. Of course, it's always a cumulative
Correct.
Decision. It cannot be one singular person's. But it was it's about understanding that this person, this is not just a job. This person is putting their heart and soul into it. This person has a point of view which will only elevate,
Yeah.
if anything, and to get that point of view. So even when the scripts get done, like I have a very strong opinion about the scripts.
Yeah.
Very, very. Like I'll be like, I don't think this should be. This is not how she would speak. I don't think this conversation should be the way it is. Or why don't we try this as well? So all that, yes. As a producer, if you say, have I been on the set handling a production? No, I haven't.
Correct.
I haven't.
Of course.
But yes, I want to take ownership in everything. I wanted to be a part of the writer's room, and I told Tanuj, I said, I'll sit quietly
Yeah,
in
you
the corner.
mentioned,
I will
correct.
not interfere. I will not say anything. I'm not here to interfere. I'm just here to,
Soak in,
soak
observe,
it. And
understand.
I will see, we all give point of views, right?
Yeah,
Also, I don't think anyone knows Bartika as much as I do today.
correct.
So I will be able to think from the way she is thinking or
Yeah.
imagining, or what is she feeling right now. So all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'll be on set ever doing producer job.
Yeah.
I don't even know if DC4 is happening, not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
So, but if I was asked as executive producer, I would say yes, must
Yeah,
do.
absolutely. And it's very fascinating to me because you mentioned that, of course, it's one of the rare things I've seen actors talk about it, but not really actually do it, is being having those opinions. And even if you do, you don't really tell them all the time to the director. And because it also depends what kind of director it is, right?
Yeah.
They might not be as receptive as the certain few.
True.
So have you faced instances like that, like, okay, now you're getting into the interference
Absolutely.
category?
I've worked with two directors. I won't name them. One who wanted exactly what they wanted. Matlab, even acting, how to say this word also was taught.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, if every actor is going to do exactly what you say, then we'll be a version of you.
Yeah.
What are we bringing to the table? And then there was this other director who was, again, if you said anything, they wouldn't stall themselves from saying something really snide or snap at you
Oh.
in front of people.
My God.
Yeah. But luckily, besides that, I've worked with people who are very collaborative.
Wonderful, yeah.
I remember the first thing Rishi Mehta told me when he met me was that I don't want an actor, I want a collaborator.
Super.
And I've done this, now it's yours. Now you make her.
Awesome. And it's rare. I mean, trust me, at least as much as I have also seen, being on the sidelines, being on sets here and there for A stuff, B stuff, it's rare. It's rare it happens. So I'm really glad that is. Okay, so now I'll, go a little timeline stuff, because I'm most fascinated, and I always, one of the first things I do when I have a solo interview is that just, go through the filmography, and of course, like everybody does. But there's one thing I notice, and people keep saying, right, okay, you want to have a great filmography. Who doesn't want to? An
course.
actor wants to do
Of
that.
course.
But of course, there are blinks, misses, and
yeah.
everything. However, your television filmography is spot on. I don't think there is a single goddamn mid project there. I can beat Naya Nukkad, beat Tara, beat Hasrate, Banegi Apni Baat, and everything. And you can technically count OTT into it as well. So I'm just fascinated. And mind you, we're talking in the 90s. This is not even the so-called boom and wokeism and
True.
everything that came later. I'm just curious, how is it that you get that clarity at such a young age, be a part of television like that in those times?
But ek to we were lucky because I was a part of television when the television was very good.
I was just gonna say.
The stories had a beginning, middle, and end. It
Yeah.
was not endlessly banate jao. The storyline didn't change because of the TRP
Right.
or the availability of the actor. The point was not to just make quantity, it was to make quality. So I took these up knowing what the character, what the story was, and it stayed true.
Yeah.
It wasn't like afterwards. So I was actually thinking of this when you were saying it, that is there anything, because I was young, I was
There
getting
isn't.
offered some interesting stuff, and I said yes for it. So I was thinking that did I ever just say no to anything, and I realized, yeah, there was one project that I got offered. Basically coming back to, yes, I did make a choice.
Yeah. And
I
even
did
then,
make a choice of, stuff that I'm probably, somebody told me that, always trust your gut.
Yeah.
You have a very strong gut instinct and it's never failed you.
True.
And that touchwood has worked for me. And of course, you want to be drawn to stories that you want to tell, you want to be a part of. You don't just want to be there for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Probably if I was smarter, I would have done some stuff for the money. But I did not.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, Vipul says, you're a purist.
Yeah.
You want to do everything for the joy of it. and
Joy
whatever.
of it, yeah.
But well, that's who I am.
Yeah.
So like you correctly said, like I may not have a very long resume, but I have a very strong resume.
Absolutely.
And every project, I'm talking about the films also.
Correct,
Like
of
I
course.
wouldn't, if I look back, there'd probably be one or two where I'd say, ye nahi karna chahiye.
I agree.
Matlab, zarurat
I
nahi.
agree.
But otherwise, it's been one on top of the other, all cult films.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe subconsciously somewhere I'm just drawn to it, and my gut is.
I love the
That's
fact
what-
that Vipul sir tells you're a purist, and oh my god, in this current state and the kind of times we are living in, you've been one for 35, 40 odd years. Not to flatter you, but it is like that, and it's rare. It's not even rare. I've never really seen it happen. Maybe like here and there, maybe. So I really admire that.
Thank you.
And of course, we cannot talk about content even in films. And of course, it seldom happens that I sit with Shafali ma'am and I'll not talk about Monsoon Wedding. It is perhaps one of my all-time favorite films. Like I'll probably put it up in my top 5 for sure. But what you've spoken enough about it. I've seen you speak about it. I've read you talking several things, anecdotes and everything. What I want to know here is, again, we are talking 2000s, right? And we're talking times when, and this is films, of course. It's a very different ball game to television in the 90s, which was way more progressive than it is today. Films were different. Films were, there is still certain formulaic stuff going on, and you want to try to be a part of it and everything. What I want to know is that this is the kind of a film and this is the kind of a role that's revered so much right now as well. And then but in retrospect, you look at it, right? That, oh, okay, but this film was so good and everything. Do you believe that that is still the most essential thing when you're a part of a project, that only the character or only that film is revered, no matter whatever that box office was, no matter whatever those
Absolutely.
things, you still feel
For
all
me,
of them?
yeah. And I might be stupid, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
Like, like for example, Three of Us. It dropped, it released in the theaters. Nobody went to watch it.
Yeah.
But thank God for OTT. It has reached everyone. It can
Correct.
still be one of my most favorite projects ever, and I'm so proud of it.
True.
So I am still purist is the right word for it.
Yeah.
And people is like, kabhi kabhar soch, think the other way also.
Right,
There are
right.
finances, there is mathematics
Exactly.
involved in it. And I'm like, yeah, but.
Yeah. And but I think the reason I asked this long thing to you is because all this is in retrospect, right? Because right now we are you are at a much better stage in terms of, exposure, finances, everything. So you can talk about it. But doing that in 2000s, I know we are going back to the purist thingy, but it is just like,
But
it boggles me.
even today, Kunal, it's like, I don't understand numbers. I don't know whether I'm proud. I should probably not be proud of it.
Yeah.
But it's a fact.
Yeah.
I do not understand numbers. Vipul is the one who knows all the numbers.
Yeah.
All projects, what is released, what is going,
He's
everything.
bound to.
He knows everything. I don't know the numbers.
Yeah.
I just know what touches me. I just understand it creatively. I just understand it emotionally.
Right.
And I wouldn't change it. I wish I had more opportunities and more parts.
Right.
That would be so exciting. But do I regret not aiming at, doing projects for the money? No,
Yeah.
I don't.
True. Super. And of course, I'm a Gujarati, by the way. And of course, this is, again, we are going back a little bit. You did a Gujarati plays way back.
Yes.
How much have you seen the Gujarati industry, entertainment industry in recent times? Have you seen it enough to be having an opinion so far?
No.
No?
I really haven't.
Not the films, not anything else.
No, I haven't. I don't. Actually, if I go back to see what is the last Gujarati play also I saw.
It mustn't been a while, I guess.
Been very long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was doing a lot of I started with theatre.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I don't have a point of view because I genuinely haven't seen what is happening in the
True.
world. But I believe that some of the Gujarati films have done really, really well.
Fabulously well.
And that's fabulous. I mean, the strength of our country is the number of languages and is the
Correct.
kind of cultures that come together. And I'm so glad that every language, every film has its own space now.
Yeah, but from the years, as you mentioned, that of course we read and know stuff, right? Has there been, because of course Vipul sir is also actively, I'm not saying in the Gujarati industry, but there's always a chatter about it. How much do you get offers from the industry, from the Gujarati industry? Do they even think we should go to Shefali ma'am?
Yeah. In fact, recently there have been two. And I've still got to decide whether I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah,
I want
would
to do
love to.
lots of stuff from every possible language. Like Gujarati, Marathi, all the South languages.
All the South. Perfect that you mentioned South, because that's how I was
Bengali.
getting legs to. You're fluent in Tulu?
No.
No?
No, but I can learn.
You can learn, yeah. But if I'm not, have you not had any sort of like any sort of a thing about the South languages in general?
I want to
Yeah.
work in the South. There are some magnificent films. There are
Yeah.
some amazing directors.
Malayalam especially.
Yeah, I really want to do stuff.
You know, now that I'm imagining you in the Malayalam industry, is the marriage waiting to happen?
Please, hello, excuse me.
We are
How
manifesting.
you?
I always
Yes.
manifest with my interviews. I'm like,
Please, thank
whatever
you.
helps.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because they have some of the
So
finest
beautiful.
work,
So
finest
beautiful.
scripts. It is beautiful. Have you seen anything lately?
What is the last thing I saw actually? There was something I saw with Vipul. One is that Manjumal Boys, was it?
Yeah, Manjumal
Isn't it
Boys.
that the same one where all those
Everyone-
guys are in
one
that
guy
one guy
falls
goes?
into-
Yeah, I saw that.
It's brilliant.
Then I saw Pushpa, which I really enjoyed.
Oh,
I went to the
nice.
theater and saw it. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
And then there was one more, which was, I don't remember the name of it. It was a very, if you look at it and you'll feel like, kya hai? Matlab,
Huh.
what is this? What is this?
Where
kind
is
of
this going? What is
filmmaking
this
and
doing?
whatever.
Yeah.
But it's such a lovely thought it was. It was a really
Okay.
small, lovely thought. I'll ask Vipul and I'll tell you. I
Right.
don't remember the name of it.
Right. No, I'm always up for recommendations. I just keep updating my list all the time. Fabulous. Just a couple more. Another thing, I go back to 2022 for this one because that was a fabulous year. You had 4 mega projects back to back, all wonderful roles, by the way. So varied, so fantastic. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I remember you talking about, and obviously someone asked you, right? कि मैम को कैसा लग रहा है? इतने सारे projects हैं, the classic question. But I love your answer to that. You know what? I don't care. I want to keep getting more work.
Yes.
Please keep offering me.
I'm greedy.
I am not exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you're there. What I want to know is, since then, of course, now we are back to being a little more selective. Being, of course, DC is DC. It was always gonna have a new season and coming back to it. Then there was a film here and there was, of course, 3 of us. So I understand that it continues to be quality over quantity. But there are instances where quantity also gets, like a 2022.
I was very happy and I was hoping my entire rest of the life would be like that. Then I realized, ये तो fluke था.
No, it's not a
Very
fluke,
sad.
of course.
No, I want to work 365 days a year.
Lovely.
I love what I do. I'm the happiest on a set.
Yeah.
And I want to do it all the time. But quite some time ago, in fact, after the initial phase of my career where I went into my downs and like, oh
Right.
God, I'm not getting work, etc. And then I reached a point where I realized that the kind of work I want to do will not come every day. I can say yes and I can keep working, or I can wait and do something that really excites me. And I chose the other path. Having said that, I love working 365 days
Yeah.
a year. I'm open to listening to everything. I want to do every genre, and I'm a very greedy actor.
Lovely. I completely second that in all ways possible. But I get very curious by what you said, Dia, because when you're sitting and waiting, right? I mean, waiting, not literally waiting, but
No,
waiting
literally
for-
waiting only.
literally waiting for the right script to come to you, right? So it can be such a thing
It's
to
very
play.
demotivating.
Yeah, exactly. In your mind, you're like, okay, but I mean, it's not a certainty, right? कि अभी 8
No, you
बजकर 2
don't.
मिनट पर ये script
नहीं,
आएगा. It's not going to
नहीं.
happen. So it can play so much in
It
your
can
mind.
also, one is it's very demotivating
Yeah.
when you don't get offered because it's like, oh, was I not good enough? One is that. And two is when you do get something, and even if you're not drawn to it,
Yeah.
I do, despite being a purist, I do go into a question of, but what if I don't get something exciting for the next 2 years? What, I will not go to work?
Yeah.
And then you're almost tempted at, acha chalo, like, but I figured that when I read a script, it's my gut that tells me I love it, I have to be a part of it.
Right.
Then the maths comes into the picture. The moment I start looking for the math, it's like, acha, this is not,
The
this
right
hasn't
way, yeah.
struck me, which means I'm not going to. And the thing is, I just feel if I go on set, I won't be able to give it my 100%. I love what I do, but if I go and commit to something that I don't like, I'll go on set miserable.
Yeah.
I won't do a good job. It'll be unfair to me, and it'll be unfair to the producers and directors. That, I've said yes, but I'm not doing the best. So, usse acha nahi. But yes, you do go into the dilemma of kar loon kya?
Correct.
Matlab, you don't know when the next one's going to come, or what happened with. Is this it?
Yeah.
Is it never going to come back, or what?
And as you mentioned, gut instinct, but because of course you do have a strong one, as people keep telling you that. But I also want to know, does that get affected as well? Because sometimes when you're just sitting back, something your strong suit is your instinct. Because you read something, you watch something, you will have an instinctive thought, and that's probably going to be the purest thing ever. Everything else is just fabricated later in your mind, right? But does that get affected? Does that weight affect that gut instinct as well? Apart from obviously the overthinking or everything else.
No,
No.
it doesn't affect the gut.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I think the gut can never be choreographed.
Right.
Never. It's always, that's why it's an instinct. It's just your spontaneous yes, no. The moment you start getting into maybe, should I, will be, that is where it goes a little
Yeah.
out.
As we were talking earlier before we started, there are no MCQs here.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is just a
exactly.
yes and there is a no.
Yeah.
There
is
is no
actually,
maybe.
there is no maybe.
Yeah.
And there will be a maybe. I mean, it's not like sometimes I read a script and I don't understand it and I say, can I please have a narration? And very rarely do I ask for a narration.
Right.
I always prefer reading.
Correct.
But a lot of times when there are new directors and I'm not being able to, it's not a gut like, okay, ye karna hi hai. Then I request for a narration or I request to meet the person to see if we are on the same page,
Yeah.
the same wavelength. Are we seeing the film in the same way?
Yeah.
Are you seeing it as I see it, or what is your vision of it, and do I agree with it?
Right.
Like for a small example, when three of us was offered to me, the first thing that me and Avinash both agreed on was this is not a sad film.
Correct.
This film, if it was treated like a sad film, would have been a very different film.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a heartwarming
Yeah.
film. And that was a click that he and me both had.
Right.
There was no two ways
about it.
But imagine if he was out to make a sad story and I was doing some other number.
Yeah,
It would have been like,
correct.
Arey, yaar, there's no marriage of director
It doesn't
and,
transpire. It doesn't
actor,
transpire.
and it just doesn't transpire.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying?
No, about this only, the entire thing that, it's always going to be gut instinct.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you ask for a narration, it probably clears your mind.
I
if
can.
at all.
There is another thought because I've thought of this a lot.
Yeah.
Because I get asked this question so many times. I also realize that when I get offered a script now, if it's a solid script and if it's a new director, I'll take the punt.
Okay.
Because my mind is, if this guy has written, this guy or girl has written this script, I'm going to play that gamble.
Yeah.
Or the other thing is, there's a director I admire so much and the script hardbound is not there, I'm still going to take that punt. That I trust this person. There's no way that this can go off.
Yeah.
It may work, may not work, oh, alag baat hai.
Correct.
But I won't regret this. So yeah.
Has that happened, the latter, where you know that the director is just... Avinash, of course.
Suresh Triveni, when we spoke, it was around COVID. So none of us had that solid, hardbound,
correct.
ye hai. But in 5 minutes, I said yes to both of them.
Fab.
Yeah.
Super. And finally, on a parting note, and this is purely in the context of, because what I love about your general thing, because there has been this discourse about commercial cinema, independent cinema, the constant battle that is with the thought process behind it. And currently it is, I'm sure maybe it's reached you enough that Kanu Behl's film Agra released, then there's this sort of a movement kind of a thing going on where independent filmmakers have just tried to come together and fight for screens. Because it's not even about the fact that, the box office is a problem. Of course it is, because you want to earn money out of it as well. But it's also more about that, if I am putting my film onto a release, I need to get at least a respectable amount.
At least give it a chance.
Give it a chance, exactly. I just want to know your just basic thoughts about it, because you've been in films which could have so-called been in the, arty cinema, as people call it. 15 Park Avenue would have been so different today, right?
True.
So I want to know what your thoughts are about this.
So the thing is that there are, if there are 100 films made a year, out of that 10, on the outset, 20 will
very
be
optimistic.
big budget films. Big star cast, big budget, whatever. The rest of them are small and medium films. So if you don't give them theatres, what are you going to do? Only wait for those 20 films?
Right.
So people will stop making films then.
Of course.
Because agar banaoge and it's not going to get a window, is it even fair? And the whole thing is good, bad, let the audience just at least give it its respect,
Fair chance.
due respect. अच्छा ये तो सोच के that somebody has put in their hard work, money, soul, not one person, so many. At least give it a chance, and a decent one.
Yeah.
You can't give 30 shows to one film because it's big and 2 shows to one film.
Well, obviously it's gonna get lost.
Obviously it's going to get 3 of us got completely lost.
Correct. Similar story, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing. Yeah. But then, doesn't this whole, again, I say it's pretty cliched, but then, then people are immediately going to retort that, okay, but why did you put it on OTT? But that's not a simple thing as well. Putting your film on OTT and making, because that is a bigger flock right now.
Yeah.
There is probably 2,000 shows and films even on one streaming platform to choose from.
True.
So, do you think that it's still, that's actually a bigger problem, honestly?
To put it on OTT?
Yeah, put it to
or-
get that, get your film out on OTT. I think the only thing people say is posterity.
Posterity, and also like that it's not मतलब कहीं नहीं जाना है तो वहाँ जाओ और वो
हाँ.
accept कर लेंगे.
Exactly my point.
They're also going to have their own point of view on it.
Right.
And for all you know, and I find some producers and directors extremely brave where they say, I'm going to make this no matter what. Delhi Crime is a perfect example of that.
True.
3 of Us was an example of that. I'm going to make this. And we're going to take that punt. When we did DC, we didn't know, we didn't have Netflix on board.
Yeah.
It came on board later.
True.
So, it may be a great solution, but it's not the sure shot
Correct.
solution, because there will be people who will probably sitting behind that office and say this doesn't work for us. Then what?
Yeah.
So are you trying to say that these people will not have an option only? मतलब film बनाओ, can में रखो.
हाँ. And वही वो so-called festivals में डालो, which
And
is
then
great,
what?
but nothing.
It's
There's
so
no
unfair.
outcome to
It's
it.
so sad.
Yeah, fabulous. And finally, just because I do this with every guest, if you could give us 5 recommendations, just give me 5, or maybe your top 3 or top 5 according to you, across languages, across whatever.
Shows or
shows, films. You can mix it up. We can mix it up.
okay, shows. It would be Fleabag, When They See Us, 3 of Us. Fleabag, When They See Us, Delhi Crime, Adolescence. Actually, all 5 can be adolescents. And there were 5 shows which I really love. When They See Us, Delhi Crime,
Fleabag,
Adolescence, and there was one more which I cannot remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything from the past, maybe, it's something that maybe your, early days, in terms of, hota hai na ki in your younger days.
If you guys
something
haven't
connects.
seen Guide, please watch Guide.
Oh my God.
Please.
Yes. I don't
Do
think
yourself
people,
a favor.
there is a lot of people who don't even know what Guide is
Yeah,
right now,
please,
don't
any
know what
Vijay
Devanand
Anand
is
film,
capable of.
Please watch it. Any Rishikesh Mukherjee film, please
Please
watch
watch
it.
it.
Any Meryl Streep film, please watch it.
Yeah, fabulous. The parallel, no, Devil Wears Prada is coming.
Oh yes, I'm so
I'm
excited.
very
I'm
excited.
so excited.
I'm very excited already.
I'm so excited. She is
She's
just
just goddess.
She is like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I just wish that I had more, we could have cups of coffee and lunch or something.
still
and we
have
could,
coffee
Yeah,
and
I mean,
we can still give you lunch and-
enabling conversations that could go on for hours and hours, but of course that's not possible. I just cannot say enough how much I admire you, of course, and just the entire vibe that you always give.
Thank
you
you.
so much, ma'am. It's
thank
been
you
an
so
absolute
much.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kunal.
Thank you.